The warm-up is a key part for executing a very good game. Therefore you must perform it so you don't get injured or don't feel off. When warming up, you are focusing on getting your fundamentals ready for the game, with your muscles warm, preventing injury. I will give you a basic warm-up which can be done by everyone. Lots of goalkeepers vary the warm-up to focus on specific parts or have a routine, meaning you don't have to follow this exact one. Firstly, to start off the warm-up, you must increase blood circulation by running before mobilizing the joints and doing some dynamic stretches with and without the ball, working on the fluidity of your shoulders, hips and other joints. After completing this, you stretch. Nothing much more needs to be said. After stretching, you work on your skill rehearsal, which is playing with the football. Usually people like to work with the football a little bit beforehand, doing a game of 2-touch or passing. You want to usually begin the warm-up with the ball by catching a few volleys before adding a step into the shot. To get your hands ready for the game, also understand the conditions you're playing in. You would move on to the next warm-up exercise only after you are ready. You'd also do a few scoops and pickups. After some volleys and some scoops, you want to do some dive activation, as this will help you get used to the surface and find your technique before the match. And at some point, you'd move on to distribution by starting with short passes, ever so slightly increasing the distance so that you can start doing pings before doing long passes, working on the accuracy, also using other forms of distribution such as the side volley and throws. And don't forget to include your weak foot within that, as you never know, in a game you might just clear with your weak foot. But also whilst doing distribution, you must work on your goal kicks as well as long side volleys, as these will most definitely come within your game, meaning that you must perfect these so that way you don't mess them up in the game. Also include claiming crosses within your warm-up to get used to the timings and the weather effects on claiming crosses and distribution, so that way you are ready for anything, even if the wind swerves. You want to also work on your positioning, work on angled shots to sharpen your position, also working on normal strikes from outside the box with or without the attackers. This would work on your shot stopping ability from close ranges and further ranges, but mainly you are trying to nail down positioning and shot stopping, so that way you can save as many shots as possible. As a goalkeeper, you want to take all of these goalkeeping aspects off within the warm-up to ready yourself for the match, and most definitely focus mainly on distribution, positioning and diving, as these are the most popular and will most definitely come within your games. Do not go too hard during the warm-up, as it only gets you match ready and prevents injury. The warm-up varies between goalkeepers and routines, but you should always avoid doing anything too strenuous and move on from exercise to exercise when you feel ready. Depending on how long you have, you might want to dedicate some time to work on an aspect a little longer than others. Or if the opposition likes to cross the ball in loads, you may want to work on crosses a bit more. Or if the opposition has a high press, you like to work on your ball control and distribution a little longer. If you got to this bit in the video, comment save. Some players like to use a foam roller or resistance bands before leaving to the warm-up on the pitch, as a form of prehab to further ensure they are match ready and ensuring no injury.